Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. I'm meteorologist Tim Pandajis for your tropical update here on Tuesday, September the 13th, 2022. We've got two tropical waves out there, one that's been tagged Invest 96L. Invest means investigative area. 96, just a number we recycle from 90 to 99. And the L on the end tells us it's in the Atlantic Basin. There's also one other wave behind it that is much weaker. Here's an overview of the basin. Here's 96L. Odds of development in the next 5 days is at 40%. The next name on the list is Fiona. A lot of models take this, projecting it off towards the west, potentially a hazard to the northern Leeward Islands and maybe the Caribbean and Bahamas. We'll have to see how things play on out. But the overall steering is a big dome of high pressure to the north here that will pull 96L farther to the west. The wave behind it looks to take advantage of a weakness developing behind 96L to have more of a northerly component to its track. So we'll see how things play on out here. This is still another 5 to 10 days out from being anywhere close to land. All right, so here's how things look on the satellite imagery. We're looking at infrared to show the convection or the cloud top temperatures. If they're extremely cold, they're stronger cloud tops, stronger convection, I should say, with the colder cloud tops. Where you're seeing the black shades, some areas of white in there. That's cold cloud tops, strong convection. But notice it's not really consolidating around the center. There's not really a defined center of circulation with this just yet, but this is generally where it's located. Overall, though, when I switch it up and show you visible, you can see a very evident broad rotation out here in the middle parts of the Atlantic in the main development region right now. Wind's only at 15. Okay, it's only a tropical wave, a low-end tropical wave, and it's moving rather quickly at 16 miles per hour due west. Pressure at 10, 11. Again, a 40% chance that this takes advantage of an overall conducive environment at the moment for developing. However, look at the amount of dry air. Dry air depicted here in water vapor imagery in the yellow shade, some rust color in there too, is the extremely dry air in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. It's to the north, it's out to the west, it's to its south, and it's behind it off to the east. So if any of that dry air gets pulled in to the overall circulation, it'll act to choke it off and stunt any organization or development with 96L. So far, though, it's been doing a good job of holding that off and still firing convection here quite consistently over the last 24 hours. So where is it going? We're not really getting many of the spaghetti plots just yet, but generally the trajectory here is due west, at least over the next 5 days or so. Still not getting input on the GFS ensemble members, which would be the GFS run, just 30 different times, changing the variable slightly, but the overall operational does take it pretty much due west as well. Now, it's got the favorable environment aside from the dry air. It's favorable wind shear environment at this time. Also very warm sea surface temperatures. Anything shaded in red here is water warm enough, suitable for tropical development, which is 80 degrees or warmer. In fact, most of this area looking at 84 to 86 degree water temperature, and that warmth extends down to a depth. What you're looking at here is the ocean heat content. We've got the warm water on the skin of the ocean, but in this part of the ocean, that warm water extends down to a depth. That way, when these storms mix up the ocean, something called upwelling, and they pull up cooler waters from a depth, it's still pulling up warm waters in this area that has the higher ocean heat content. And you can see due west here, it gets even deeper and warmer, so ample amount of energy in the terms of heat that's available for these storms to use. How far out from land could it potentially be? Well, where 96L currently is, about 8 to 10 days out from land. The wave behind it, as I mentioned, probably having a trajectory with a more northerly component to it. Still about 10 to 12 to 14 days out from land, if in fact it was to threaten it. All right, climatology tells us that we are running behind here. We're only at 5 named storms so far. We're coming up here on the 16th pretty soon. We should be at our 9th named storm so far, nowhere near it. We may be getting Fiona maybe in the next 5 days or so. It's got that 40% chance right now. We'll see how things go. All right, that's the latest update for you on the Atlantic Basin. Until next time, you can find me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok at Tim Talk Weather. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.